America is carrying $36 trillion in debt, but the real danger isn't the size of that number. The real danger is what it reveals about how the system now survives. Because history doesn't punish nations when they are weak. It punishes them when they believe nothing can go wrong. Right now, nothing feels broken. Stores are open. Markets still move. The dollar still dominates global trade. And that sense of normalcy is exactly what makes this moment dangerous. By the end of this video, you'll understand why America's debt is not just an economic issue, but a historical warning that has appeared before every major shift in global power. America has always used debt. In fact, debt helped build the nation. Railroads, highways, wars, technological revolutions. All were financed with borrowed money, but there was always one critical difference. Debt used to create growth. Factories produced more. Workers earned more. Exports expanded. Debt had a future attached to it. Today, that relationship has changed. America is no longer borrowing primarily to build. It is borrowing to maintain what already exists. That may sound harmless, but history treats this shift very differently. When debt stops creating new value, it starts consuming old value. This is where strong systems quietly begin to weaken. Not suddenly, not dramatically, but invisibly. This pattern has appeared many times before. Consider the Roman Empire. At its peak, Rome controlled vast territory, massive trade networks, and unmatched military power. To sustain this dominance, Rome increased spending. Armies expanded. Bureaucracy grew, but revenue could not keep pace. So Rome chose the easiest solution. It altered its money. Silver content in Roman coins was slowly reduced. At first, no one noticed. Markets continued. Merchants accepted the currency. Daily life felt unchanged, but confidence erodes before collapse arrives. Prices began rising. Trade efficiency declined. Trust weakened. Rome didn't fall in a single moment. It decayed financially long before it collapsed politically. That same illusion of stability appeared again centuries later in Britain. After World War II, Britain emerged victorious, but deeply indebted. On the surface, the empire still looked powerful, but behind the scenes, debt payments consumed resources. Currency pressure mounted. Global influence slowly shifted away. Britain didn't collapse. It transitioned, and transitions are far more dangerous than collapses, because people underestimate them. That brings us back to America. America today is not collapsing, it is transitioning. And transitions feel safe until they aren't. Here is the critical change. A growing share of US government spending now goes toward interest payments. Not infrastructure, not innovation, not expansion. Whose interest? Debt servicing has become one of the largest expenses in the federal budget. That means new debt is increasingly used to manage old debt. History has only one verdict for systems that rely on this cycle. Eventually, choices disappear. But an obvious question remains. If this is such a serious problem, why hasn't America collapsed? The answer lies in America's greatest strength, the dollar. The US dollar is not just a currency, it is global infrastructure. Oil is priced in dollars. Trade contracts rely on dollars. Central banks hold dollars as reserves. This gives America extraordinary power. It can borrow more cheaply than any other nation. It can run deficits without immediate punishment. In simple terms, America exports its debt to the world. As long as global trust remains, the system holds. But history teaches one brutal lesson. Confidence does not decline slowly. It shifts suddenly. And when it shifts, systems change faster than people expect. We've seen this before. In the late 20th century, Argentina was considered a rising economic power. Foreign investment poured in. Currency stability created confidence. Then debt expanded. Policy mistakes accumulated. Trust evaporated almost overnight. The result wasn't just inflation, it was social and political instability. Now consider a more recent example. In 2008, the global financial system looked stable. Banks appeared strong. Housing prices kept rising, but underneath, debt and leverage were quietly compounding risk. When confidence broke, collapse followed within weeks. Systems don't fail when everyone expects them to. They fail when no one believes failure is possible. Many people argue that America is different. They point to Japan. Japan carries massive debt and continues to function. But this comparison misses a critical detail. Japan's debt is largely domestic. It is owed internally. America's debt is deeply woven into the global system. If global trust weakens, the impact doesn't stay contained. It spreads. That is what makes America's position uniquely fragile. Now, consider the choices America faces. If interest rates remain high, debt servicing costs explode. If interest rates fall, inflation pressure increases. If taxes rise, economic growth slows. There is no painless option. This is what financial constraint looks like, not collapse, but narrowing pathways. History shows that when nations reach this stage, decline doesn't arrive through disaster, it arrives through adjustment. Living standards plateau, opportunities shrink. Global influence fades gradually. Most people don't notice the shift while it's happening. They only recognize it once it's complete. $36 trillion is not just a number. It is a signal that the system is approaching structural limits. This does not mean America will fall tomorrow, but it does mean the next decade will not resemble the last. History's most consistent lesson is this: empires do not fall because they lack power. They fall because they ignore financial reality. Debt is not evil, but it is never neutral. It always demands repayment, either through growth, inflation, reduced influence, or instability. Every empire chooses how it pays, and history always collects. This is not a message of fear. It is a message of awareness. Because when you understand how the past behaves, the future becomes less surprising. And in uncertain times, understanding history is not optional, it is an advantage. If you want to understand how financial mistakes shape the future of nations, and how those patterns repeat across time, subscribe to the channel. Here, history isn't just remembered, it's used.